Hey, this is Gimme These on Cars.
Hey everybody, this is Dan, and today I'm driving a special car. It is an Alfa Romeo Stelvio TI. Look at this thing. My dad is with me today. He's a big fan of this car. Now this car is Alfa Romeo's first ever SUV, and it is built on the Giulia platform. This car is a 2-liter turbo 4 with 280 horsepower and 306 foot-pounds of torque, and we're going to take it for a spin and see what it's like to drive. I'm very excited to drive this thing, so here we go. Alright, so I'm on the inside of the Stelvio here. First off, all the materials in this car feel very nice. I absolutely love this steering wheel. Now, Dad and I, we both drove the Giulia sedan last year for the Giulia event. And, I mean, what did you think of that sedan?
Oh, I loved it. Absolutely loved it.
Yeah, this car essentially is exactly like a Giulia, just a little bit higher, with more cargo space like an SUV. It's built on the same platform as the Giulia. But yeah, the interior feels very similar to the Giulia because I think everything basically is exactly the same. I mean, you've got the push button start here, you've got the two big dials, your tachometer on the left and your speedometer on the right. Now this is a TI trim. There's a base model trim and then the TI, which I think you can get the sport package with the TI trim. But yeah, it's got nice dark colored leather, which I really like. It's like a dark chestnutty brown. You've got these circular vents, which I think is a cool touch. You've got them on either side of the front, and then they're in the back as well. We'll take a look at the back seat in a little bit. It's a little bit tight, but it's not bad. I mean, I'm just envisioning this for my family, which I think it could work. I mean, you know, we have a smaller, I guess you could say a smaller SUV, and as far as everything I've read and heard about this car, it's very sporty, and it's, I mean, Alfa Romeos are known for their handling, so we're gonna go for a drive and see what it's like to drive. So here we go. All right, so just pulled out of the dealer. First initial driving impression of this car. The brake pedal is a little bit different than what I'm used to. I'm just not used to it yet. Now this car is a TI, but it does not have the paddle shifters, which are the huge, you know, aluminum metal paddle shifters on other versions of the Stelvio. This one doesn't have it. You can still shift the gears with the stick here, but it definitely sounds like a 4-cylinder, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. But once you get going, it sounds like a normal car. This car is a turbo. I mean, it's 280 horsepower. I'm going to try to go on the highway real quick just to test out the acceleration, but so far it feels very nice and composed. The suspension is nice. Right here you can change the driving modes, and when you change them into different modes, it'll go on the screen. Dad, if you want to change the thing to D. So if you put it on, okay, that was A. Okay, initially I just felt something different. I mean, if you put it into D, here, if you go to N, that's natural, but D switches to dynamic. Now, the driving mode, it'll change your throttle response and how long it holds onto gears. I'm sure if this is a sporting SUV, you know, you want to have the most aggressive, not aggressive, but more sporty drive when you're driving this car. Okay, it already feels different from the natural. And the A, like I said, is advanced efficiency, which is essentially an eco mode. I'm sure if you're driving on the highway, you know, a long time, you put it in eco just to get the best gas mileage. But I've got it in dynamic right now. I like it better already. I mean, you can tell that everything is crisper and more responsive. What do you think about the ride so far, Dan?
I like it.
Milano, so he's been a big fan of Alfa Romeos for a long time. When I told him that we might be coming to drive this car, he said, "Don't do it without me." And it's taken a couple weeks to schedule this drive, and he said, you know, we were just joking, but I said I won't do it without you. You'll disown me, right?
Probably would have.
So this car competes, I would say, competes with the cars like a Jaguar F-Pace, you know, a BMW X3, probably an Audi Q5. I think this car is a little bit smaller than all the rest. It's definitely smaller than an F-Pace, and I think a little bit smaller than the Q5. But I mean, it depends on what you do. I mean, people that have small SUVs like this, you're not using them exclusively for utility. I mean, sure, you want to, you know, put your kids, you know, soccer bags and everything in the back seat or the trunk, but the trunk is actually pretty big in this car. I was kind of impressed how big it was. So far, I like it a lot. This car is named after the Stelvio Pass, which is in northern Italy. It's in the Italian Alps, and I'll flash a picture up on the screen, but it's like a ridiculously turny, hilly, twisty mountain road that's known as one of the best roads in the world. So that's where they got the name for this car. Now, I also have to mention that there is a quadrifoglio version of this car, which is a 2.9 liter twin turbo V6, which has been in the news recently. It just became the fastest SUV around the Nürburgring in Germany. There might have been a little bit of controversy with that, but still, 505 horsepower out of a car this size. I can't even imagine. Like, this is 280. That's 200 plus more horsepower. I can't even imagine. Alright, I'm going to try to do a little pull on the highway just to see how she feels. Wow. That wasn't too bad.
Man, I'll tell you what.
Wow. This car, it's even if it is a smaller SUV, it still feels like a small car. I mean, it doesn't feel heavy at all. It feels, I'd say, pretty nimble. I mean, that was a nice little pull. I got up to
You got up to 80 real quick.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive. I mean, that I think I said this before in my Giulia video. I think it feels like more than 280 horsepower, don't you think?
Agreed.
Yeah.
Feels like it's real ready to go.
I mean, it's even out of a 2 liter engine, which everything nowadays is a 2 liter turbo 4-cylinder. Yeah, this is more than adequate, I'd say. Now, this car with the TI trim is equipped with, you know, adaptive cruise control, and you know, you can decide how many car lengths the car is in front of you. Right here on the steering wheel is how you adjust how far ahead of you the car is. I think Alfa Romeo is a luxury automaker. You can say that lots of luxury automakers have those features now. And this is a 2018 model too. Like, these have only been on sale in the US for a couple months. I know when I went to the Cars and Coffee there, I think it was early June, and that was the day that event was. That was the first Stelvio that they had gotten. So it's only been on sale for a few months in the United States. Alright, so I wanted to talk about the outside, or the exterior design of this car, because I think that's the number one thing about this car is the styling. I think it is great looking. I mean, I think the Porsche Macan is good looking. I just feel like the Italian design of this car is what makes it so appealing. I mean, Alfa Romeo always has the shield like that, and Alfa Romeo has one of the coolest, you know, badge icons with the flag and the little snake. I've always been a big fan of that. Now, the headlights are the main, I guess you could say, design departure from the Giulia. They're totally different looking than the Giulia, and I think they look really nice. The LEDs run right here. Now, Dad was saying he really likes the side profile of this car, which I think it is really good looking too. Yeah, these fenders right here, it's kind of nice little design element, and actually the front hood kind of has an interesting shape too. It doesn't, there's quite a gap here from the headlight to the hood, which I think looks pretty cool too. Now to go along with the kind of fender flare right here, you got another kind of fender flare right here too in the back quarter. This part right here kind of takes away from your visibility on the inside a little bit, but I think it looks good. I think the chrome around the windows is a nice touch too. Now moving to the back of the car, these exhaust tips are awesome looking. I mean, it's definitely a trim piece on top of the actual exhaust right there, but I think they look great. This car has all-wheel drive. It's got the Q4. That's what Alfa Romeo calls their all-wheel drive. Dad's gonna go in and step on the taillights just so we can see. Something I can't really do very often because I'm the only one filming. Okay, so this is what the taillights look like when you press on the brake. Nice little design, exactly like the Giulia. Alright, so this is what the parking brakes look like, which I think is a nice little design. Nice little LED shape. Once again, the nice little crest. Overall, I think it's a great looking car. What do you think?
I think it's wonderful. I love the color.
Yeah. Yeah, when the guy at the dealer asked me, he said, do you have any preference? I said, red. I said, it's gotta be red. We've had many instances where we say red, we're a sucker for red, right? Okay, Dad, what do you think about the red leather? I think Dad and I both are suckers for the red leather. Let's take a look at the back seat. Alright. So, this is the seat, I think, a little bit further up than where I would have had it, and I think it's a decent amount of space. I got, 4 inches back here. I think I could sit back here just fine. It's got nice leather, black leather. This car does not have a sunroof, but that's okay. But yeah, this is quite a view from back here. I think they really did a good job with the interior design too. Now this has an automatic trunk. I just dropped my license plate. Now this is pretty big for a small car, I would say, or a smaller size SUV. I mean, that looks plenty big to me.
I think it's about the same size as my Acura RDX.
Yeah.
Car and the back area.
You got a nice little cover here for your cargo. It's honestly bigger than I thought it would be for a car this size. I mean, that's pretty good. You got your button here to close. That was pretty quick. I mean, so I think this car is pretty a nice proposition if you're looking to buy a smaller SUV, something different than like a Honda CR-V or a Mazda CX-5, or sure, it'd be a little more expensive, but you got 280 horsepower, turbo. This car is on sale for just under $48,000, so it's definitely not cheap, but it's not stratospheric like I'm sure a Porsche Macan or an Audi Q5 would be, but those are beautifully designed, well-equipped, nice cars too. Alright, so Dad's going to talk a little bit about why he's been such a fan of Alfa Romeos for a long time.
Okay, here's the deal. Before we started, took our little ride today, Dan gave me a homework assignment. Explain why you like Alfa Romeos like that. And I thought, I hadn't thought about it. Here's why. When I was in 4th or 5th grade, I go to the grocery store and read Motor Trend, Car and Driver, Road and Track, all those magazines, Popular Science, Popular Mechanics, and the formula for a fast car always was, you take a nice big car, put a real big engine in it, a 4-speed, you're going to go like crazy. Okay, refine that idea. You take a nice big engine, put it in a medium-sized car, you get a Pontiac GTO, and they get real fast. I rode in them one time. The sound of the big V8 was rip-snorting powerful. It was fast, crazy fast, and then the guy banged on the brakes, brought it to a stop, and that was all pretty cool. Then I read about all these, the Road and Track talked about all these MGs and Alphas and Fiats and Triumphs and so forth, and here they're talking about a 4-cylinder car. How can a 4-cylinder car be fast? Here's how. Small, light, highly strung 4-cylinder engine. Okay, fast forward, and I never could understand that until one time I had a friend named Henry. he had about a 68 Alfa Romeo GTV. And before I say the next part, I got to tell you, generally speaking, Alfa Romeos appeal to all your senses. The sight, the smell, the sound of the music of the engine,
the emotion,
the transmission. It appeals to all your emotions. The other thing that was cool about it, the styling of the Alfa Romeo was cool looking, and it didn't rely on any chrome or fins or louvers. It was just the basic shape of the car. In Italy, there's so many things that are beautiful just because of the artistic design element, and that's how the Alfa Romeo was. So anyhow, we took a ride in this Alfa Romeo. By the way, it didn't hurt. The guy had a black leather shift knob. He had black leather gloves and a black leather wrapped steering wheel.
Wow.
And he was a very good driver. 2-liter overhead, double overhead cam. And the beauty of this car was, it wasn't that it was fast. He went through the gear, redlining every gear real quick, and it was fast. But at the same time, it rode very smoothly, and it was relatively quiet. And instead of powering through a straight stretch, it would bend its way through the turns, twist its way through the turns, up and down, twisty roads that in most cars you'd be scared to death that you're going to go flying off the road. This car was just carving them right up with beauty and joy. That's sort of why I love the Alfa Romeos. Years later went by, I had the opportunity to buy a relatively inexpensive Alfa Romeo Milano. It's a 2.5-liter V6, and the sweetest thing about that car, two things: the handling in general, the power, and the sound of the engine. It was more fun to listen to that engine at 75, 80 miles an hour than it was to listen to the radio. What else?
There you go. What more can you say about a car?
Yep.
Now he brings up a good point that, like, personally, when I go to buy a car, and the type of cars that I can afford, I'm looking for styling and appeal and sort of like the. Okay, for some reason my GoPro got rid of my clip here, but what I was trying to say was, when I'm looking for a car, I'm looking for the emotion and how it makes me feel. You know, I like the styling and how the car makes me feel compared to, like, straight line speed. I mean, that's what I go for when looking for a car. I wanted to mention too, these are pretty nice wheels. 19-inch, you've got the huge red bright calipers. I think this is a good looking wheel. They have another wheel that has like the 5 circles. I'll flash a picture, but I like those better. But these are still nice looking wheels. Alright, so just got back from driving the Stelvio, and basically I'm impressed. I mean, the power's there, it obviously looks great. You've got the heritage of the Italian passion. I wanted to thank Faulkner Maserati Alfa Romeo for letting me drive this car. This is like the 4th time I've been here, and they've been nothing but nice to me. I really appreciate their kindness in letting me take their car out. Check out their website. I'll put a link in the description below. What do you think?
Loved it.
Yeah.
Very much enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'm impressed. I would consider this in the future when buying a car.
Sure.
If this is the first time you're seeing my channel, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you soon. See ya. Alright, we're done with the Stelvio drive. We're checking out some Giulias. We've got colors and wheels that run the gamut. We got red, we got black, we got maroon, we got blue. Look at those. Those are the best wheels. Those are the Quadrifoglio wheels.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I like it with a lighter color blue.
Yeah, me too. Now here's the Stelvio. Here's the wheels I was talking about. That I love these wheels on the Stelvio the best. This is a nice blue. And those wheels are kind of like those wheels. But yeah, I like this blue. See, this one has the paddle shifters and the sport package, not like the one I drove. But let's see the price difference. Oh, this one is $47. Huh. Silver. We've got the gray with the yellow calipers. That's kind of cool.